stream is live, it looks like. Let's see if the YouTube live control panel pops back up. Because OBS all around is having some issues tonight. You know, it's probably to do with the fact that I've got a Steam download running. Let's try that again. Interesting. Well, let's hang out here for a minute and see if the string recovers. Okay. And our current live stream. Stream bitrate is loading. There's not much I can do about that, OBS. Mostly because we're back to being good. Hello! Welcome to the stream. Alrighty. So, we're on Monster Train, and Miss Nattie will be picking our clans. So, Nattie?
Yes?
Do you have 2 clans in mind for Monster Train?
Do third from the left.
We can make it work with Umbra, we can make it work with Melting Remnant. Wormkin's pretty good.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. And then, Standard or the Exiles? For each.
I think the one that's already on for that one.
Okay.
And then do the other one for that.
Can do. Alrighty, and we're going to run this at Covenant rank 1, because I would like to see if it works pretty well. Alrighty, so we've got Consume Spells, which Wormkin can help with, because Wormkin has a lot of ways to return Consume Spells from Consume Pile to our library. Phased. If Salgard has 4 stacks of Shard, remove Phased. Or, as an action, deal 3 damage per shard to the front of the unit. I think we go with Titan Channel. Let him start phasing in and out. We can deal with Armor of 10, that's not a problem. We'll just set up on the top floor and play a couple spells. Notably, for the sake of argument here, we're gonna do... Oh yeah, I can't target him with any spells. Okay, well, let's play you here. The Glacial Seal behind. And apparently we're gonna Frostbite, which kinda sucks, but oh well. If I remember correctly, does Shard go away? No, Shard just powers his abilities. That's good enough. Okay, and then I've got enough to actually put some on that fine gentleman. Then every 3 spells that I play per turn, I get a buff to my magic power, which is pretty helpful. Magic power determines the effect of damage and health for spells, so stuff like Flash Freeze and Helical Crystals are going to get more powerful. I think we go Echo Transfer. And then as for these gentlemen, we could probably get away with doing it on Keeper of Echoes. So I'm thinking we do the Glacial Seal onto Keeper of Echoes, because they're about similar. They're about the same for their use. That Inspire is pretty good. We'll take that. And then we'd like to look at this, because I'm gonna give him a lot of health. And Endless. That way, even if he dies, it's not really a problem. We'll do Cuddlebeard. The ability to do our debuffs, what are they called? Oh, hell if I remember. But anyway, the ability to do those for basically free would have been nice, but there's little I can do about it now, unfortunately. Ah, yes, I can't put the Shard Soul Carver there. Nah, since we can't put him anywhere useful, let's not put him anywhere at all. Flash Freeze, give him a Fracture, and then hit him with a Bygone Power. Okay, and then last up is Glacial Seal. Unfortunately, I don't yet have a method for implying infused.
That's a good job.
Thank you.
He's screaming at me.
I noticed. Let's go with the Crypt Builder. We're going to do a very heavy discard game. Let's take him, because the Eel Gorgon is going to be absolutely insane if I can do something useful with it. Do I want the Horde? Or would I rather upgrade the Eel Gorgon? Because now that I've got it, I could get away with doing something interesting. Notably, I could give it the Inspire trigger from Shard Soul Carver. Or if I could find a way to duplicate, I could do something interesting here. Let's see what I get. Strike, apply, reap. Yeah, let's take the Kinhost Vessel, and we'll put the Kinhost Vessel on it. First help act it is. I want those X-Cost cards to be buffed. We will actually be putting the Kinhost Vessel onto the Eel Gorgon, because it gets buffs for multi-strike. And then plus 30 damage. Yeah, I'm not interested in taking the Attune, the Intrinsic yet. Let's go to the Concealed Caverns. chance to gain an artifact. That is not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Some extra spell weakness is a good thing to have. Okay, well, let's start by Keeper of Echoes. Although, I'm going to have to re-roll this fight real quick, because I just had a crazy idea. I need to give this thing, I need to give it haste so that it attacks first. But we can get away with a little bit, nope. Unfortunately, I'm just not going to be able to get Solguard to defend it. So instead, send it up to the top floor. And it'll lose all of the armor, but that's kind of fine because we don't need armor anyway. We'll just put Solguard on the middle floor. And then... so yeah, she's going to gain 5, but she loses more than she gains, which is useful. Okay, and then we shove the Glacial Seal in front. Go for that. Actually, probably would have been better to just drop the Helical Crystal for that turn. Alternatively, I drop the Keeper of Echoes and then let that start buffing the Eel Gorgon. I think I like that idea better.
You got this, Babels.
Thanks, honey. Because, yeah, I can't fit him and the Shard Soak armor. What I can do is stick the Glacial Seal back here. Okay, this is going to get interesting. So, Bounding Echoes, Fracture, Flash Freeze, Echo Transfer, Forgotten Power. Unfortunately, that doesn't save the floor from getting wiped, but it does help a deal. And he, of course, has Endless, so I don't know why I was worried in the first place. Well, okay, well, oh well. And there's the Eel Gorgon. And unfortunately, Solguard is still phased out, so there's simply nothing for him to be doing yet. But I like having the Eel Martyr, or the Eel Gorgon, because it's able to do some useful things down the line. So we'll have Solguard come out of phase in order to fight here with a handful of spells. Spike of the Stygian wouldn't be terrible here. And there's another Keeper of Echoes, which I could stick on my current Keeper of Echoes. Or I could get the Siren of the Sea and do that same thing. I'm going to do that instead. Let's grab Light of Seraph, because I'm noticing a lack of space aboard my port train. Do I want to upgrade any spells? I don't have the money for spell upgrades, really. So... I think, honestly, the spell I'd like to... well, the anything I'd like to copy is probably going to be the Glacial Seal. But we'll do Siren of the Sea. 90-90, but I have to cast 10 spells before he can do anything. That's simply not going to hold up in an actual combat, unfortunately. Give Crypt Builder more to work with. Let's do Intrinsic on the Bounding Echoes. And then Siren of the Sea on the Keeper. And the reasoning is rather simple. The more I can get the Keeper to be higher in terms of power, the better off we'll be when it comes time for it to return from the dead. There's Crypt Builder. Roll me lucky. I don't get lucky. Oh well. I was hoping it would ditch Crypt Builder, that way we could sweep the floor there, but whatever. They're not going to kill him if I don't, so I'm going to have to, unfortunately. So we'll go ahead and buff the Gorgon, make it actually helpful here in this fight. Okay, we'll drop the Siren down here, and then we need to play a couple spells up here to guarantee that we don't just die outright. Okay, and just like that, we sweep the floor. Okay, and we'll just apply more health to him, or damage rather, not health. We can drop the Glacial Seal because it's going to be helpful here. We don't have enough for Echo Transfer, but now we do. And then Foregone Power. We send him up with just enough health to survive it. I think we take Guardian's Amulet, because I'm already discarding anyway. And then I think we skip on these cards, because we've already got a pretty fat deck. We need the Pyre Remains, the Forgotten Boons, and the Divine Boons are nice. +3 magic power is fine. We'll take the Consume chance. Or not the Consume chance, the Consume damage. Because Wormkin has a surprising number of cards that want you to consume them, because the Wormkin Exile Champion actually gets a lot of bonuses if you're consuming cards often. Okay, Eel Gorgon on the top floor. Fracture down here. And then, yeah, he's got sweep, so we're kind of boned here if I don't defend it. Yeah, that sap is enough to save us on this floor. Drop that there. And then we Foregone Power. And we'll dump the Spike of the Stygian already. It's tough, but it's got to be done in order to protect us here. We'll Foregone Power this. And yeah, we're just going to get... that floor is going to get smoked, so... And that is already our first loss. Alrighty, new run. Nattie,
Yeah.
new clans or stay the same?
New ones. Do second from the right.
Second from the right.
No, I mean like from the other way. Yeah.
that's not a clan.
Oh yeah.
They're random.
Yeah, and then go to the last clan then.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, what are we doing? Exiles or standard?
Do just change the top one, leave the bottom one.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yep. I'm gonna need it. Alrighty. Let's do units get an extra upgrade because that's simply useful to get. Inspire, apply Reap 2 is really helpful. Mostly because it cuts down on chaff enemies getting their way through. Because from here, I can just do a Reap, a Torch, and that. And we'll just go ahead and Horn Break twice there to deal some extra damage to that poor bastard. Fracture this one, torch him, torch again. We'll eat a little bit of damage, but that's fine, because he goes up a floor, and then we just fracture twice, and we win. Because Reap is busted when you're good enough at applying it. We'll take the Echo Infusion. Alrighty. We need to make a decision between Welder Helper, Hidden Passage, and Horn Break, and frankly, I like the ability to move my guys around. So we'll take the Hidden Passage. We've got enough money that we could go to either of these traders and not have an issue. I don't have enough critters to make the Wormkin banner worth it. So we'll go for the Hellhorned banner. Grab the Steelworker for some extra armor. That's nice. And then I think we take the Infused Mallet. So 25% chance to deal 5 damage when we get an enemy to board our train, which basically just means we always have a chance to, you know, deal some extra damage. Let's put holdover on Echo Infusion, because that's just helpful. And then make this fracture free. We can also get away with that.
Some guy posted this.
Mm-hmm.
This is the entire argument.
Hey then, goddamn.
That he is the reason for that entire argument.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck's about right? Hello, Spine Chief. Go absolutely insane for me.
I love how they also totally maybe forgot on purpose to leave their
the names. Yeah, about
so
that.
they can,
So the internet can do what it does.
yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone is adding him at Zane.
It's really funny. So we torch the gentleman in the back line in order to do some overall healing. Torch that one. Echo Infusion. Unfortunately, I can't get away with the transfer, but that's fine. And unfortunately, I also can't play the Hidden Passage. We just don't have enough space. So, we'll just let them do what they do. Alrighty. Echo Snare wouldn't be terrible, but I've already got enough ways to apply Reap. I don't think I need more. The Fledgling Imp wouldn't be bad, but I think I want to keep going on for Hornbreak. And now we have some decisions to make. So we could go for the strike gain 5, which I think I'm gonna do, because I know there are some gentlemen in here that get bonuses and get multi-strike. So giving them that strike buff would be nice. I think, interestingly, I think we take the Shard Soul Carver here. I think we make this Fracture free, because it's just a useful spell. That Ancient Resonance can get even more powerful. We'll make the last Fracture free, because that's just helpful. Plus 10 magic power isn't quite necessary, but Permafrost is. And if I can put Permafrost on this Echo Infusion and find a way to give it holdover here soon, I'll have a great time over there.
Oh my gosh. Hey, babe. So you know that, oh yes, they both reach for the gun song that's been trending lately?
Yes.
With all the Gravity Falls edits?
Yes.
Alex Hertz saw them, and if you put in the code name gun, it says, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, they both.
Fun.
On his website. That's so funny.
We'll take Dante's Candle. Getting Dante is actually great because we have somebody I want to sack to him. So Dante starts with multi-strike 4, which is really good for me. And then, unfortunately, I think we're going to lose our fine gentleman here. Yep. With that being the case, I'm inclined to re-roll the fight, but I think I'll just stick with it. It's okay, because after the Talos fight, we'll get, we'll get the opportunity to make it happen. So, have you set up here. Dante's Candle, which is unfortunately proving to be more curse than a blessing now, as we continue. Let's go ahead and kill that fine gentleman so he doesn't get the chance to be a problem. And then we'll continue to buff Spine Chief, because unfortunately we don't really have a better method for helping him here. So we torch, and then we torch, and then we Echo Infusion into a Hornbreak, and unfortunately that's all, so we might lose here. Yeah, I think we lose here, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and re-roll this fight, because I know we can win it. We just have to not lose our Steelworker off the rip. So let's go ahead and deploy them as such, and then we'll do Fracture, and then go and skip turn. Drop that there. We can kill off the Alpha Fiend, unfortunately, because we simply don't need him. And frankly, if he survives, that's great. If he doesn't, oh well. Let's see. We can apply some Reap here, which will be very helpful for making sure we kill this this boss. There's the Hidden Passage, so we can go ahead and Hidden Passage our fine boy right upstairs. So now we actually have the case of having a very powerful top floor that will likely help itself clear the boss. Now, I can't say for sure, because I'm a great many things, but good at this, I can't guarantee. But we can get away with just a bit of this. So then Dante's Candle. We can Hidden Passage this fine one. And we'll hold on to that Ancient Resonance just in case it comes up. I didn't think it would, but just in case. Apply some Reap. Give him a health boon. Give him a health boon. Pierce. And that is the win that I thought we could get. We just had to make sure he stayed alive. We could take Dark Deal, and frankly I think we're going to. That Rail Beater would not be terrible. Mostly the strike buff, but we've already got a gentleman we'd like to give a strike buff. And I don't think... Yeah, we can't apply that strike buff to anyone else, unfortunately. So I think we skip here, because the units are just not doing it. We'll take the Light of Seraph to make the train a little larger on the interior. And then... do we purge some stewards? I think we go this way. So we can get another Steelworker, which will be fantastic for us. Because our current Steelworker has an Inspire trigger, and I'd like to give the new Steelworker a different trigger. So yeah, we will... Actually, let's duplicate our Steelworker. And we'll make Spine Chief work off himself. That's cool. We'll just roll one Steelworker into another, which is a great way of increasing your overall armor count in case you need that at all. We'll skip that because the armor buff that we would see there is simply not worth it. Put Spine Chief on the middle floor, and then apply some Reap here. Okay, we've got our Steelworker with a Steelworker. We can do a Dark Deal to give him some rage. And put the Steward in front down here. That way he dies. Then we Shard Soul Carver, Steelworker, send him up a floor, Ancient Resonance, and Echo Infusion. Unfortunately, I'm just going to have to leave these two gentlemen for the Pyre to kill. So, Dante's Candle goes up here, along with a Torch, a Hornbreak, and an Echo Infusion. Okay, and then we'll apply Reap here, along with Torch that guy. Echo Transfer twice, Echo Infusion here. Get him to burn a couple more stacks of regen than he would normally. Do this, into that, bonk, bink, and then lastly, we send the Train Steward up a floor. Why? Because I like to play with no cards in the hand at the end of the turn. Makes me feel better about it. Alrighty. So we took a bunch of damage there, but I think that was a fine, that was a fine round. Fine fight. I think we skipped these cards. I don't like applying Consume to my spells, not when I don't need to. And I don't currently have any imps, so we'll take the Battering Ram. Shit. Oh, no. Let's see if I can't save that. Or if it's just gonna... Yeah, it's just gonna cut Dante. Damn. I was actually banking on Dante. Well, let's take the Mark of an Exile. And we'll have to give somebody Endless. Frankly, let's give it to the Alpha Fiend. See if I can't get multi-strike. There it is. Hey, buddy. We do that, and then we'll leave, because I don't have any reason to be in there. Do the train stewards. Now, there is now a demon unit that I can get my hands on that will help me apply more multi-strike there. But I'll have to work for it. We do these two fine gentlemen, hit him with a pierce, and then hit him with a pierce. Okay. So we can do Ancient Resonance. And then, unfortunately, I have Dante's Candles now, but I don't have any use for Dante's Candles. So yeah, I think we just re-roll the run, to be honest. It's unfortunate. I was actually going to use Dante as a rather crucial part of my plan there, but oh well. We'll do the same upgrades for Spine Chief, even if we're going to get different artifacts and different things. We'll take the Unbroken Horn artifact, because the Unbroken Horn makes it so that I can actually keep all of my Ember between turns, which is very helpful when it comes time to ensure that my enemies die. Mostly because whatever energy I don't spend, I can just spend at a later date. And I don't really need to fuss so much over whether or not I'm making the optimal play every single round, because I'm no longer restricted so heavily by my my Ember. So in this case, I'm just going to play a couple of spells here. We'll do Forgotten Trade and then roll that again, because we're able to do things in a single round that we likely wouldn't have been able to do without. And then, because the Spine Chief has this Inspire trigger, we can just go ahead and abuse the hell out of it. Let's take that Bounding Echoes. And then we'll actually take another Fledgling Imp. I suspect this is going to be a very imp-heavy game from me. Yeah. Neither one of these are gentlemen I would like to see, but I can take the Branded Warrior, because on the off chance that he does actually get a kill, it'll be great. And assuming he never gets a kill, oh well. It's just another fighter. Especially with how much rage I'm currently stacking, we'll be able to make some good stuff happen. We'll put Spell Chain on this Forgotten Trade, and Intrinsic on... I'm thinking the Bounding Echoes here. The ability to apply more Infuse is nice. I would like to keep all of my units. I'd like to get rid of a Steward, and I have enough money to purge it, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Stewards are great early game because they can just be used as like a chump blocker, and they're worth 5 damage if they survive, but they rarely survive. Oh shit! I accidentally unplugged my headphones. Anyway, train stewards are great units in the early game. Don't get me wrong. The only issue I have with them is that they don't survive all that often, and as a result, they wind up being rather lackluster. Because sure, we've got things here like this setup here, which is going to go absolutely insane, by the way. Just chucking imps in front of this guy to save him from getting attacked at all is an excellent setup and a way to play off everything else. If we do the Forgotten Trade here, we can get away with a lot right here and now. And then we do a little bit more work to further increase our gains, and just like that we win. So yeah, it's not terrible. I think I want to take the Echo Snare here. And we'll take the Pyre Chomper for the ability to gain more Ember. Let's take the Horned Warrior, because the Horned Warrior can be used to give an extra stack of multi-strike, even though it gives Fragile to the unit you put it on. We'll take that Steelworker, because I like having more demons on the train. Make these Fractures free. We can put double stack on that card, but we're out of money, so we're going to have to go grab the Divine Boons and duck in the caverns. We can throw something in here, and unfortunately I don't have much, but I will throw in the Pyre Chomper, mostly because having 5 Pyre Chompers seems like a lot. It really isn't. When you really get into the weeds of it, Pyre Chompers are very expendable. You play them only to gain Pyre, only to gain Ember, and hope they die quickly afterwards. And in this case, having them to eat that 1 damage tick that happens when a unit dies is going to be absolutely fantastic for us, so that we can make sure that we're not burning too many units. So yeah, here we're just going to do a Branded Warrior into a Pyre Chomper, Fledgling Imp on the top floor. We'll do the Reap here. And then we'll stick the Horned Warrior in the back line, because even though he's got multi-strike, he's really weak, and I don't have space for him anywhere else. So another Pyre Chomper goes down. Then we do double Fractures, an Echo Infusion, and dump a Train Steward down here. So then, Pyre Chomper. Most of the reason we're just playing these guys like willy-nilly is to feed the enemies a bit. We don't want to keep the Pyre Chompers in our deck, because as we continue, we will find ourselves running out of space to draw cards. And the best way to make sure that you still have space is to simply kill off your units. So now we only have just enough units to actually draw the cards. Or now we only have just enough cards to draw the cards we need in order to keep winning this fight. I don't believe we have any other units anywhere in this deck right now. Yeah. So all we've got is spells to play by the time the boss comes around. And infinite mana to play it with, so we don't care. So he's a very rage-fueled gentleman, and so he's just going to whack the hell out of the boss. Now, this should be over in 2 rounds of combat, because that guy, all he does all round is build up a bunch of rage. I would love to take these Unearthed Remains, but I'm going to take the Transcend Imp. And then I think we skip units, because we've already got the Horned Warrior, and we don't need another. We'll take that Light of Seraph, so I can keep sticking imps in floors they don't belong in. And then we'll go over here for Herzl's Horde. Dazed is a really good one to help protect our gentleman, and Winged Indulgence can help protect our Pyre. From here, we don't actually need either of those units, and we can go ahead and purge a couple more stewards. So the Transcend Imp, you'll notice, has the text, repeat all summon effects when it's played. That is borderline broken when you have an all imps deck, because an oops all imps deck is just going to go absolutely insane with filling your floors in a way that I will demonstrate here very shortly. So for now, we'll just play like normal, but the minute we get around to, sticking down a bunch of Pyre Chompers and a couple Fledgling Imps around, then we go top floor for our Branded Warrior, a Fledgling Imp, a Pyre Chomper, we'll do an Echo Snare here for the sake of it. Now, unfortunately, our Transcendent does not have Endless, so he's going to be a bit limited in his flexibility just yet. But we've got enough to really go kind of nuts here. So then we'll dump a Pyre or a Fledgling Imp there. Drop a Pyre Chomper in the front. Drop a Pyre Chomper in the front. Then we can actually apply Reap to said Pyre Chomper. We'll play a Fracture and a Torch. And then we'll do a Fracture again. Drop 2 back-to-back Forgotten Trades into an Echo Infusion. And this is going to really hurt this floor as we go. But now, you'll notice we have no more summon effects. We have a bunch of mana to play with. So we'll burn them a little, drop that, and then we'll drop the Transcendent. And we just shot up another 20 Ember. Mostly because we simply don't care about Ember anymore. As this continues, we just absolutely go crazy. I think we go with Rage Serum. It's a consumable spell that basically we dump it and then we're good. We'll grab a Herzl's Horde and a Scorching Restraints. I would like to get... There is a demon artifact in the Hellhorned purview. Let me go to Artifacts. The Hellhorned have Collection of Tails. Rage does not decay on friendly units. It is absolutely insane. And if we can get the Ashes of the Fallen, it'll be even better. Consumed Crown is a really good one. Gurg's Goad would give us another multi-strike. Imp Sickle gives us more random imps. Queen's Tail would be pretty good for the amount of imps we're playing. Railhammer gives us more armor. Resonant Shard would be absolutely insane here. But as we're going on, we've got a lot of artifacts from the Hellhorned, simply because they are our main faction. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and make the Forgotten Trade. No. Let's do Echo Snare and make that intrinsic. And then what do we want to ditch? We've said for a minute that we wanted to do the Horned Warrior, and I think we stick with that. I think we put the Horned Warrior on the Branded Warrior and call it there. Enemy units entering with armor 15 poses a bit of a problem to my current setup, so we'll do a Spine Chief into a Steel Worker, an Echo Snare here, Bounding Echoes, and a Fledgling Imp. And that'll kill most of that floor. Then we do a Horned Warrior, a Pyre Chomper, a Pyre Chomper. We'll do a Rage Serum here, do an Infused Kill there. So now the only problem is how do we keep our fine gentleman on the top floor alive? And the answer really boils down to pick a method. Now that he has Heartless, or Fragile, if he loses health, he dies outright. But that's not that hard to get around when he's already getting Daze triggers anytime an enemy enters the top floor. Let's dump these Forgotten Trades, because frankly they don't matter. And I believe, yeah, we've still got a lot of Ember coming up in our Pyre Choppers. So we'll hold on to the Transcendent a little longer. We can go ahead and Fracture. And go ahead and Pyre Chomper here. We can take a Consumed Spell, and in this case we're going to take Forgotten Trade from our Consume pile to our Draw pile. Then we simply play up a few Pyre Chompers, kill that gentleman, do a couple Forgotten Trades, an Echo Infusion, and we continue on our way. So now, we are completely out of imps to play. And it falls to the Transcend Imp to go absolutely insane. So in our case, we're just gonna let them go nuts. The Reap on this floor will hurt the boss much more than our units do, but frankly, we are most interested in just stacking benefits. And all the rage we've built up on our fine gentleman is enough to kill the boss. So from here, I think we just take another Forgotten Trade, mostly because it's ridiculously useful, and the Impish Scholar, which will actually turn this from useful to broken. The Impish Scholar will return a random consumed spell to my hand completely for free every time one is played. Unhinged Power. I could put that on any spell I have and purge them permanently. But we'll take the Nexus Spike. Mostly because I would like to do a Forgotten Trade and a second Forgotten Trade. So now, anytime I play the Nexus Spike, it is going to basically reverse nuke me on Ember. I think I take this fine gentleman, and I think we stack him, but I don't have another unit, so we'll just not. Okay, well, Arcus is our next unit. He has a rally and an incant trigger on his Dark Shards, so we'll simply need to make sure that we manage who's where. Okay, and he left the incant trigger down here, so we will simply play the only spell that we've got on the floor, run to the top floor, and play our imps, gaining back our Echo Snare, which we can again just play on this floor. Part of the benefit of having a oops only imps deck in this is that the worst that happens is we get a dazed trigger, and I can work around a dazed trigger, but we're just going to apply a whole bunch of Reap to Arcus, because he is currently stealth. He can't be hit by our units, but he can get hit by Reap. He's not phased. So this is just, well, it's a bit of insurance. So in our case, we're going to Nexus Spike down here, because it'll get us a lot of Ember. And then we'll hold on to our Fine Transcendent, because, we want more consumed triggers on the stack. So we play our Impish Scholar here. We play our Pyre Chomper here. We'll go ahead and play a Broken Memories. We want that Echo Snare back, please. We'll do an Echo Infusion here with a Torch. And then finally, Nexus Spike. We've got an incant trigger on the top floor. That's crazy. We'll go ahead and drop the Echo Infusion here, an Echo Snare, a Forgotten Trade twice, and then lastly, we will just go ahead and torch one of our imps. Unfortunately, I can't kill any of our imps in order to summon a new one there, but for now, we'll be good enough. So we'll go ahead and play the Fledgling Imp, or the Pyre Chomper here. Go ahead and Echo Infuse into our Spine Chief. Apply Reap to Arcus, and torch that shooter. Because that ranged winged unit can actually deal a lot of damage if we're not careful. Now, I do believe we are fresh out of imps to draw, and so now is the time to play the Transcendent if we'd like. So, we'll go ahead and torch, fracture, we'll go ahead and Echo Infuse our Spine Chief, dump the Transcend Imp, gaining back all of our fantastic spells that we've been keeping in the back pocket. Gain a lot of energy. Our Ember count is crazy. And then we just, we just win, basically. And then we just go ahead and nuke one of our imps real quick. Because what's it matter anyway? We're reliant on that big boy. Perfect Insanity isn't terrible with the amount of times we are over our Echoes count. But honestly, I think we go for Reinforce. Doubling the armor on a unit is absolutely insane here. Mostly because we can get other spells that'll give us the ability to get more armor as we continue. So, in our case, we will simply negate a Torch's cost, take a double stack on the Rage Serum, and we will go ahead and try to consume a Torch. Make the Fracture free, give a Torch some extra spell power, and we'll go ahead and we'll actually put the Consume removal on the Bounding Echoes, as it'll give us more ways to get infused. We'll take the Forever Flame, so that all of our units are always free. Take the Value Stone in order to make our Nexus Spike free. And we need to make a decision. So we can start actually cutting down the amount of imps that we need in order to get the same effect by basically just turning the Impish Scholars into one another. In our case, we'll go ahead and give the Spine Chief Multi-Strike, because we want Multi-Strike on everybody anyway. We'll go ahead and take the Aggressive Amulet, not because we care, but because it doesn't matter. This fine gentleman has Sweep, which means he'll attack all enemies on the floor when he attacks. That's really cool, but means nothing. Predominantly because all he's going to do when he does his thing, his fancy little thing, is he's going to feed my poor starving starving gentleman here. Where are you going at?
I'm giggling because it was a video clip from a YouTuber's video.
Oh.
The one with the Jack was in it. He was in the actual Poppy's Playtime, I think, or something like that.
Something similar.
The one with the little grabby hand things.
Yes, Poppy's Playtime.
Yeah, and it's a clip of somebody playing the game, and they click the button, and it goes, "I know when your birthday is, June 28th." And he's like, "No, that's not my birthday, but it'll be really funny when Mark plays his birthday, because that's his birthday, or plays this game, and he hits that button, because that's his birthday."
Yeah.
And then it shows the clip of Mark, and he's just like, I did not put my birthday.
I may need to re-roll this fight. I can't afford to be losing the Spine Chief before the boss turns out.
I need to go home soon.
Yes. What time do you want to go home, honey?
Probably in 20 minutes.
You said in 20?
Yeah.
Okay. So we can guarantee which cards we get back from the Impish Scholar by more or less just not allowing any other cards to be in that pile. So yeah, having Ember Drain kind of sucks, but basically means nothing for us. Okay, and we'll go ahead and play the consumable card that doubles our armor value in order to bump it on another unit. Okay, so with that sorted, we can actually get a little more value out by basically just denying the Spine Chief a death here. Because now, we just dump down a few Pyre Chompers in front. Now, I believe, yeah, we've only got one more imp left to roll before we can play the Transcendent. And there he is.
Oh, that's cute. Fables, you should listen to this.
What is it?
Anesthesiologist of Reddit, what was something you won't forget hearing from someone that was under?
Okay.
My husband was put under to get his wisdom teeth out. He was a little anxious and also is just kind of anal. He's an engineer, so he read his pre-op instructions front to back like a dozen times. One of the things it said was you may experience profound disorientation upon awakening. As he woke up, he opened one eye and looked around the room and then said extremely huffily, I wouldn't call this profound. Then he started crying.
And then he started crying.
Oh boy.
I had an ovarian cyst removed a year ago and woke up from the anesthesia saying, hand, please, and making grabby hands with both my hands until the nurses finally came over and held my hands for about 5 minutes while I just smiled and tried to go back to sleep. I hadn't done that in a decade. I used to do it to my dad all the time as a kid to express that I wanted to hold his hand while I slept. 3.
That's so cute.
That is really cute.
I was giving a young female patient sedation for a routine colonoscopy, and as I pushed the propofol, sleeping medicine, it started to hit her. She sat straight up and yelled to everyone in the procedure room, I shaved my a-hole for you. And she flopped down on her pillow when she was asleep. 4.
Oh my.
Okay then.
Coming out of the fog of anesthesia from a colonoscopy. Apparently I didn't recognize my wife and refused her infections, telling her she was pretty, but I was married. Got big brownie points for that. 5. My dad asked my mom to pick up his butt cheek so he could fart and it was too heavy. 6. My husband had his...
What?
Youch.
Oh, I need to listen to that one again.
Got big brownie points for that. 5. My dad asked my mom to pick up his butt cheek so he could fart and it was too heavy. 6.
Like, damn.
My husband had his ACL and meniscus repaired. When they brought him back into the room, he stared at me through half-closed eyes until the nurses left and then said, I love you. I'm glad you're here. I melted. Then he calmed back out for about half an hour and woke up with a big gasp. I thought he was in pain. That's how loud it was. And went, Burger King Virgin. I said, you want a Burger King burger? He said, do. So I had to get him a Burger King burger for dinner. He doesn't remember anything until he was back home several hours later with Burger King sitting in front of him. 7 nurse here was
Burger King Burgie.
Burger King, burger.
22F. Had a teen boy come out of anesthesia who looked at me and said, hey, you're the girl from last night. I had to reassure everyone that that wasn't me. 8. I had a surgery to remove bone spurs from my big toes in early February of 2005. I woke up while the doctor was grinding the bone down and asked if he thought Donovan McNabb could lead the Eagles to a Super Bowl win. He nodded at the anesthesiologist, and I don't remember anything after that. The anesthesiologist said,
That's funny.
Okay.
That's so sad. Stan,
Mm-hmm.
his birthday the year before he met Dipper and Mabel. No one came to Mr. Mystery's Mystery Age party and used Wolf Pelt Sale. That was what the title was.
Damn.
His party that year. Mr. Mystery's Mystery Age party and used Wolf Pelt Sale. He'd spent hours writing comedy roasts of employees who never came, burned off one of his eyebrows attempting to make a cake, and drank the night away skeet scooting 6 years old Beethoven records.
Youch. You know, I knew there was a win there. I just wasn't sure if I would find it. We could do Soul Siphon. We don't, frankly, care about Ember Drain. Yeah, let's do that one. And then Imp in a Box is a terribly good spell, as it just gives me imps. Ah, and I'm already at Seraph. That's a problem. I was not expecting that one. Let's go ahead and take a look at our trinkets. Rah. Give something Spell Chain? Sure. Forgotten Trade. Purge and cheaper. No thank you. I think we do the Fledgling Imp. And I think we stick him on... Actually, no. I think we don't. I think, instead, we take the Hellvent, duplicate our Transcend Imp, and then we go back and make our Transcend Imp endless. Now, I'm not sure if this will work the way I want it to. What I want to happen is that it will infinitely scale, but I don't actually suspect that that will work the way I want it to. However, I do need something to do what I want there, so we'll take it. We will do a Reinforce, and unfortunately, I cannot buy more, for I am out of money. So, Seraph attacks each turn, applies melee weakness to our front unit, and gains attack on rally and incant. So in other words, pretty much everything we do, Seraph's going to get tougher. Unfortunately for Seraph, we don't care, as we'll just stuff some boys in his way. Unfortunately, I did not put Endless on our branded warrior, so I'm going to have to re-roll this. Because I can't afford to have him dead yet. He is, unfortunately, crucial to the plan, and him being dead throws a major wrench in it. So, we'll go ahead and use Fracture on him. Torch his boys. Dump a Reinforce there. Dump a Fracture here. Broken Memories to grab that Reinforce. And we want to start dumping imps. And I guess the Steward too. Hi. Okay. Go ahead and reinforce the Spine Chief. Not that it matters because he still dies, but makes me feel a little better about it. We can jump the Pyre Chompers down, as well as our Imp. We want to grab that Echo Snare. Okay. We'll have to start making some makeshift things happen, because I was not planning on the Spine Chief dying. Although now that I think about it, I really should have planned on it. So, back to the drawing board a little here. We do still need our Oops All Imps deck to actually deal with what the boss is. In our case, the Horde Warrior is coming up next, and he will be instrumental in making sure we win here.
Hey, Bibbs.
Yes, no.
They just released what McGucket saw
Yeah.
that traumatized him so badly that he erased his mind like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Bill Cipher removing his exoskeleton to feed.
Ooh.
That traumatized him so bad that he erased his actual being.
Jeez. Alright, I'm gonna have to kill the stream there and take Miss Nattie home.